Welcome to the 40th Friday session of SmithFit. Just a little bit of addition that we have to our SmithFit app. So I'm very excited to tell you all that the tech team and also the rest of the SmithFit team has put together a new feature to the app, which is the chat feature. So you will see it in your app, and it will come as the fifth addition to the bottom few icons that you have.
We're going to do a short, quick, nice stretching and mobilizing sort of routine today. Less strength work, more building our flexibility and control over the body. So please just find some space for yourselves and we'll slowly get moving. Okay, we're going to begin with moving through these stretches. We normally swing up. Today what we're going to do is we're going to lift up, turn to the side and bring down really slow and controlled. Lift and rotate. Lift and rotate. You can't go very high, that's okay. But try and keep the knees straight. Use your hips here to lift and turn. Once you finish 10, we are going to change the side and go the other way. Okay, next bit, we're going to have our feet a little wide, say shoulder width. And we're just going to reach for the floor and stand back up. Very simple, reach for the floor and stand back up. Very slowly try and go lower and lower in that stretch. Don't need to give any jerks, move slow, controlled, go down and stand up. Okay. From here, we are moving to the floor. If you have a mat, you can get down on the mat. We're going to start with the left leg in the front and the right leg behind. Just get down there, slowly control. Now from this position, we will push the hip forward, stretch for a moment, sit back, try and straighten this leg, stretch the hamstring, and go back forward again. So we'll go back and push the hip. Go back, sit back, push the hip forward. We'll do this also 10 times. I think we've all done 4. Moving nice and slow. Okay. Once we finish 10, we're simply going to change the leg. Again, both hands in the front. Push the hip forward. Sit back till you feel a stretch on this leg. And push forward. 10 repetitions, moving nice and slow. Just focus on stretching your hips open. From here, we're going to get down on both knees and palms. Keep a little bit of distance between your knees and your palms, about as much as your shoulders. And we're just going to work the spine, quickly a cat and camel. Really slowly, doing just 7 of these, trying to reach the end ranges of your spinal movement or flexibility. Great. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lift this knee, kick back in a straight line, bring it back, do not touch the floor, kick back, bring it in, kick back. Let's do 10 of these. Really slow, trying to control the hip. Don't let the hip arch too much or turn left, right. Trying to keep the lower back flat just as it was. Once you finish 10, we go to the other leg, repeat the same action, focusing on controlling your core and your lower back. Don't let it arch extra. Keep the stuff in control and only move from the leg. Okay. Once you finish 10 on both sides, we're just going to layer in a little bit more challenge with each set. This time we lift to the side, then extend back, come back in, lift to the side, extend back, come back in. Again, we are doing 10 on the leg, say the right leg first. And once we finish 10 of these, only then I want you to go for the other side. So in, extend to the side, extend back, bring it in, side, back, and in. Once you finish 10, we go for the other side. And the same action on the other leg, lifting out, lifting back. Once you finish 10 on both sides, lifting back. Take a quick break here. While you're here, we're just going to roll the shoulders forward. And after 10, roll the shoulders back. Okay. Like I said, we're going to layer in a little more challenge with each set. Third set, what we're going to do is we're extending the opposite hand and the leg at the same time. So suppose I bring my knee and I go in, I extend the opposite limbs out, I rotate my shoulder, bring it in. When I go to the other leg in the hand, extend out, rotate, and bring it in. Let's do just 7 per side, but this time we alternate. So you do one on the left, one on the right, one on the left, one on the right. Doing 7 per arm and leg. Bring it in, extend, roll the shoulder back, and put the leg down. Start on the other side, control, balance, and come back. Moving. Doing 7 on each side. Perfect. Okay, the last one. Beautiful twist here today. What we're going to do is we'll start here again. We press back, take the right leg, kick up, come back, take the knees down. Again, press back, left leg, kick up, come down, and drop down. Again, just doing 7 per side. If you can, for open, don't put the knees down at all. Keep the knees just 1 inch off the floor. Go back, kick, come back, keep the knees in the air, and go back again. 7 on the left leg and 7 on the right. Okay. Once we finish, we're just going to sit cross-legged on the floor. If anybody can't, you can just let me know and I'll show you an alternative. But we're just going to sit with the left leg on top. Just bend forward. And you can feel a slight stretch on the left side because the left leg is on top. So we've mobilized our hips. Now let's just stretch them a little bit. And let's come on back. Change the leg. Get our right leg on top. You may find one hip is a little more difficult to sort of bend forward or to get on top. Maybe spend a little extra time on that side. Again, slowly bend forward, keep pushing your knees down. The stretch should have now shifted on the right side of your hip. Okay, relax. That's the exercise bit for today. Thank you very much for tagging along, bearing with me, even after Akshatritiya. I know all the heavy lunches that we've had. So thank
A very good evening. 40th session of SMITFIT. I'm happy I'm present for all 40 sessions. So basically, when Suvarna decided to talk about sustainability and greenism, I just again I was talking about my age. So about 20, 30 years ago, this word had really not come in because we Indians, particularly people staying in the cities, also we were much into sustainable living by different methods that we adopted, and gradually this word started sneaking in because of the need arised that we had to start thinking about sustainability. So I'm going to present a small a few of our slides, and we'll get started with the session. I'm going to talk a little bit about sustainable living before Suvarna takes over the plant-based nutrition, because it is very important that plant-based nutrition cannot just help us alone. There has to be an environment created around that, those eating habits, which is a part of our lifestyle, and we need to change every aspect of our lifestyle to ensure that these dietary changes also help us in management of our lifestyle diseases. Now, to start off with, these lifestyle diseases are a product of the way lifestyle has changed over the past few decades. Whether it is the way the water has been processed, your air, your soil, eventually all of that is entering into our food and deciding the fate of our health based on these lifestyle diseases. So to start with, what exactly would be, how would you look at calling your lifestyle as sustainable lifestyle? Now it would be anything, a development which actually meets the needs of the present generation without compromising the availability for the future generation. Okay, to make it even more simpler, let's look at what exactly sustainable living means. So what does it mean? It is basically prioritizing the use of natural and renewable sources in such a way that we avoid wastage, and we are also aware continuously about the depleting resources, that what do we have to, what are we saving for our future generation. I mean, we always do the savings as far as our real estate is concerned. Probably, this piece of jewelry is my family heirloom. So our the natural resources is also are a part of the family heirloom, that we need to ensure that it should not happen that at one point, just like in some certain countries, our generations also have to buy water. I mean, I'm just talking about one aspect of it. There are several parts of the world where you cannot drink the water that is coming out of a tap. Right now we are at that position, that we are able to even if it's the water coming from BMC, TMC or PMC, you are able to drink that water without being scared about how it is going to affect your health. But in near future, that may not be the case if we are not careful. So what exactly, coming back to sustainable living, is it's a method of reducing a person's carbon print. There would be another altogether different session for us, if we start thinking about the carbon print that is left behind even by our food habits alone. It should Sustainable living should encourage people to minimize their use of all the resources that are we are taking from the earth. Again, water, air, plants, everything. Establishment of an equilibrium with the environment. Whatever you're taking from the earth has to be returned back to the earth. Okay. Coming to the next slide, there are sustainable living is based on 6 R's. So here we have to, it starts with respect. You have to be, there should be gratitude. Whatever we are getting, with, the availability is made by Mother Earth. We are paying for it, but the availability is made by Mother Earth. We have to think about our roles as responsible global citizens, as to how exactly, what is my responsibility. If I may have the buying capacity of several goods, but do I really need it? Refuse what you don't need. Reduce what you do need, and reuse and repurpose, choosing reusable over disposable. All of these things are eventually that, or recycling is the last step. First 5 R's are very important, and then we come to the recycling of what you cannot refuse, reduce, or use. Now I have a question for all the participants. If you, like I said, if you look back a few years or a few decades, was this there in our lifestyle? I mean, think about our childhood memories, how exactly we were doing something out of this. The other way around, let's do one thing. Let's do a small exercise. If I have to give you one part of your house, how can you identify your sustainable role in your house, what exactly you're doing? Because right now we are not stepping out of the house. And right,
There's a disturbance from
Sejal, there is somebody.
you mute, Teja.
Maybe keep that. Go ahead, go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, thank you so much. So, when we are talking about, let's look at, our house. I'll give you, let's start with, I'll give you one section of the house, and one of you tell me how exactly you can identify what you're already doing, or you can also suggest what you can otherwise do. So let's start, it's like, a walk through your house. So, we come to your corridor before I ring your bell.
Have some nice plants
Great.
to make you feel green and
Right. So next part would be, you enter your hall. So what exactly, where exactly can you apply rules of sustainability, or you have already done that?
No gadget, no television, no Wi-Fi to begin with, because that's
Hmm.
what's happening today. And rather have books. And again, I don't have too many plants, but yeah.
Open
Maybe
windows.
another thing to add there
Open
is
windows, exactly,
Yeah,
Shank
open
sir.
windows.
Open
Yeah,
windows.
absolutely.
I was waiting for that answer. Or most of our houses are designed in such a way that it supports cross ventilation. So other than these hot months of the year, we could look at even air cooled houses.
even the light switch on, switch off, right? Right
Right,
now, we
right.
just leave it on, fans are on, and nobody's there in that. So maybe some control over there with the manual movement, it kind of switches off automatically.
Correct, correct.
Using
So
energy
any more changes that you have seen or you have made in your house as far as your living room is concerned?
yeah,
I've
using
already
energy
incorporated
efficient.
all these.
Yeah.
So,
Someone was saying using.
Yeah, using LED lights instead of normal this one that consume much lesser power.
Much lesser
So
power, you are right.
you're saving to the energy, and
Right,
then again using the sort of just the right light, not like a celebration. So just use the right light. Like if you're watching TV, then a dim light is good enough. You should not
right,
use dark, but a dim light is enough. Don't need to have all the lights on around the same time.
right. I think this is a new feature in all the houses that are newly made. If you see, there are so many lights in one room. uh,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, we had a tough time explaining it to our architect when we were doing up our Pune home, that we need just only 4 lights in the hall, that's it. And he was like, no, those concealed this thing, again, POP is another big monster. So that is used a lot while you are doing up your houses. Or so those lights need to be used very sparingly. And also about, when we since we are home, there is a lot to do with refusing also. I mean, that to rethink and refuse, do I really need to buy this now? I think all of us must have realized in the last 1 year our shopping rate must have really gone down. It
Yeah.
start with, whenever you buy anything online, besides whether you need it or not, it comes with at least 3 layers of packaging, which directly goes to the garbage bin. If it is reused or it is going for recycling, well and good, but if it is not responsibly handled by the person who is actually taking care of the garbage, it ends up in the wet garbage and eventually the landfills. So over there also, our role, as I mean, that's the reason that rethink, the second step itself, will abort the entire process of generating garbage.
So
Now
like
if I need
we
to.
have this bread and eggs wala coming every alternate days to our house.
Hmm.
So what we have made it a practice is to take the eggs. We use a steel utensil and ask him to drop eggs into that,
Right.
so that we don't take a plastic or even a paper bag for holding those eggs. So we just keep those eggs there, and after the cooling period, move them inside, or wash them off with the soap. I mean, washing eggs is easy, so it doesn't spoil the eggs. So you can wash them off with the soap and then put it inside the refrigerator.
That's a brilliant idea. Absolutely brilliant idea. So, if you walk into your kitchen, there are so many things where you can reduce your usage with your the flame of your gas. I mean, most of the times, if it's a maids who are cooking, they are always in a hurry to leave. So they want to cook everything on a high flame. For that, they use more oil, they burn most of the things, they kill the flavor, all of this. So we not only increase the carbon print, but we are not even getting the best out of the food that is being cooked. Or making use of stalks and stems for making some other preparation, which instead of going to the green bin also, it's a good thing that we are able to separate out things into two compartments. But even it's our moral responsibility that we reduce the size of our green bin also. The green garbage that is generated, that also has to go down. For example, making use of all the leafy vegetable stocks, which like kinds of increases the pile of the green garbage. For making some vegetable stock or even chicken stock that you're making, or just if you have a compost bin in within your house, that would also be a great option. Have you tried reusing eggshells anywhere?
Yeah.
Anywhere?
Yeah, we put it
Yeah.
in our garden. all over.
Eggshells and all these kachra, all these green things, right? You make a slurry
Yeah.
and just put it in your pots. But you
Yeah,
know what? It's not possible.
We've done this vermiculture number of times, but because of these bandicoot, we could not, be successful in doing this vermiculture.
Okay. But
So
So
at
eggshells
least
come
you
handy
tried it.
for
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it is mandatory because they don't take from our society. They don't take wet
Mhm.
garbage.
Mhm.
So now we collect it. Like Ruby and me live in the same society, so it is all collected centrally, and then there is a van which comes,
makes
processes
the
it
compost.
and gives it to the society, the compost.
That's also a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's a collective effort to bring it out. Imagine so many houses, and that much of garbage is not going out of the society. It is just right there, where it is being used right there.
Yeah.
we also been doing in our society, in our building itself. We got the composting bins where it all goes. Eggshells reuse. What you said is one of them. Is there is a belief that the lizards don't come in, but actually we have to tell that to lizards also. But still we
No,
You
you
know,
just crush them and put it in your
pots
pots and
actually.
pans, like
Yeah.
lemon tree, lemon plant, kadi patta plant, and
there are
all
some
that.
fortunate people who have gardens and all that, but staying on a higher floor in an apartment, we just have few decorative plants. Even maintaining them is a big.
Yeah. Sometimes it could
But
be a
it
big
can go
challenge.
into your compost. You
Into
can crush it
compost.
It goes,
and it can
is-
go in the compost.
it goes in the
Someone else will actually benefit out of your garbage because in my society also there is a compost pit. So the nearby farmers, we just donate the compost, whatever is
Correct.
extra that is generated out of that plant is given away. So to sum it all, how does sustainable living should look like? First is the awareness, and there is a significant amount of awareness, and it's increasing. Then switching over to more renewable energy sources. So it would be the use of solar panels. Again, the people, the luckier ones who have access to solar energy also. That's one step. I mean, then recycling and reusing. As children, we have used so many things which were in different forms of recycling. Just yesterday, when I was coming back from Aund, that's an area in Pune, I saw a pile of tires, and I picked up those tires and put it in my trunk, and I got them home and actually taught children to use this thing. We used to call it rangada. I don't know, in every section, old worn out tires, you go around tossing them with a small stick. I have done that as a child. Any one of you has played with old
Yes,
worn out
Yes, of
very
tires?
much.
course.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
So,
was the only entertainment.
that was, and it was
Even
such a fascinating
cycle
Yeah.
tires also.
So
cycle tires. Exactly. I picked up those cycle tires, and it was just lying there. And I gave it to about 8-10 kids in the society. It was such a novelty. The whole bunch of children were just going around running. I no None of their parents had seen the kids, running so much. Everyone slept so well last night, and having plant rich diets, which is use of minimizing the use of meat in some way. I'm a core non-vegetarian, so I'm not I'm a strong a believer of animal based protein. But there is an important use that we need to blend the use of plant based and animal based foods together. Only then we get the best out of it. So Suvarna will definitely talk about it. Growing our own foods in organic methods, definitely we are short of spaces. when in urban areas, but wherever possible, in your very little ways, you should start growing your own plants. So I did this since my daughter was born. We started making having different kind of experiments, and that's where we started growing very little amount. So the amount that we would grow was hardly sometimes 50 grams, sometimes 100 grams. We would just top up whatever, let's say for example, we would grow beans. So if we had harvested about 100 grams of beans, I would buy another quarter kg of beans and prepare that vegetable and tell her that this is what we have actually grown, and now we are going to eat it. Another thing that what I realized from this was all self learning, is that once we know the labor that goes in a food preparation, in growing a particular vegetable, we think twice before it ends up in the garbage bin. So it is very important, and the labor that goes, even children, family members in the house also understand that lot goes from sowing the seeds till the harvest into the preparation. Sometimes it is good to involve the family, they are less critical about it, a certain preparation. So it's very so please try and do that, and I stay in an apartment, so here in Pune. So I'll show you a few things that I have done at my place. So it's definitely something that you could get started in very, very small things. So when we are doing that, while we are doing that, the sustainable living also talks about reducing individual needs of transportation. So when we were going to office, carpool was one of the mediums, or using local transport. Now in Bombay and Bangalore, all these areas, the local transport is slightly better than Pune. We are hoping with the new metro connections, we are really excited about it. I think people in Barner, Kothur, all will benefit out of it. Shopping local rather than ordering online is what I was talking about. That the moment we shop locally, you carry your own bags. Automatically, three level layer of packaging also goes down. And again, if possible, like now, I'm going to definitely take this clue that when I'm going to go to buy eggs, we don't have the egg fellow coming to our doorstep, but definitely when we go to buy eggs, we can always carry a small flat tiffin kind of a thing, and we
Swati, I
can
want to
buy
ask you
at least
something.
Hmm.
All these pictures that are on the slide, are they your personal garden? आपके खुद के उगाए हुए हैं ये सब?
Yes, but can you see that?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Okay,
Getting the
I can't
screen.
see
Yes,
it.
we can.
Yes.
I think
They
the
are beautiful. Either the photography
Yeah, very
or
nice.
the what you've done is fabulous.
okay, so there is one. So this is all started thanks to Swara, my daughter. So we have, the whole garden concept started because of her. We are from coastal Karnataka, so we there is every now and then there are coconut shells in the house which never go to the garbage bin. Till date, no coconut shell has gone to the garbage bin. So every coconut shell has converted into a planter. So we always start a plant in a coconut shell, and then it is transferred. Most of the times it is robbed by my friends. Whenever they are visiting, they just take one of the planter and then just go vanish from my house. So
Yeah, I
we
call
the
lives on the
mustard-
cherry tomatoes.
The
I call
mustard
them.
microgreens look, I think they are in the coconut shell.
yeah, they are in the coconut shell. The parsley is in the coconut shell. I think there is a lag at my end. I am still on the parsley side. I think, are you already guys already on the this
Mustard
thing?
greens.
Mustard
Yeah,
greens.
mustard
Okay.
microgreens.
So the mustard microgreens, I'll tell you, this was a unique story. There was a competition in my society where the Ganpati decoration competition. So actually we had grown these mustard greens for that. आणि तो असा मधोमध गणपती बसवला होता आणि त्याच्या भोवती ही सगळी आरास होती आमची. सो दे वर अ लिटल टॉलर देन दिस, and we use these microgreens as a part of our decoration. But again, these microgreens are again laid on the dining table whenever we have guests over also. Katri ठेवून देतो आम्ही, आणि they keep on trimming it and eating it. And also the microgreens are not grown with soil. They are grown on this thing, the cocoa pit, otherwise literally dried tea leaves. So when we strain the tea leaves, I don't put the tea leaves in the garbage bin again. I just put it in one pot where it dries up, and then I use it as a replacement for coco peat. Just mix it with maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons of soil, and that is enough to fill up that coconut shell. And it becomes very light also. I can hang it in any corner of my house. The garden cress seed microgreens are very tasty. They grow very fast. As a child, ते किल्ला केल्यावर आपण अळीव
हा,
टाकायचो
तस-
त्याच्यावर.
तसे आहेत ते.
So it grows very fast. So if you decide you want to have microgreens after 8 days, garden cress is the seed that you should choose. Grows very rapidly. Even this ghosala's whale, I have harvested so many sponge gourds out of a very tiny pot. And we have made even loofahs. So I'm gifting loofahs to my friends. So
Dried ghosala, right?
dried ghosala, correct. So when it grows and it's ready with the seeds, you can remove the seeds, and that just one ghosala can give you easily 2 loofahs, and they last for very, very long time, unlike the plastic ones. And really good for scrubbing the body during this thing, instead of the plastic scrubbers. I can go on and on. Actually, खूप गोष्टी, and my source of inspiration, I could not get in touch with her. Mrs. Bhavna Apte म्हणून मुंबईच्या आहेत. She is a sustainable living example. Very good. I have had the chance to stay with her for 2 years during my days with Kellogg's, when I was working with Kellogg's. तर त्यांच्याकडे मी PG म्हणून राहायचे, आणि I learned so many things. I think the way I live has turned upside down because of her, with so many other things. She's a very interesting personality. I hope to call her sometime during our session. A lot to hear from her. So
Actually, this your point on eat local is very important, because today in India, almost there is a 30 to 40% wastage of food, particularly vegetables and fruits after post harvest. Okay, and that mainly because of the post harvest inadequate storage, then the transport. And imagine 30 to 40%. It's a huge number. That is one, of course. Second is nutrition, because see, eating local, for example, of course, nowadays you get apples, say, throughout the year, right? Imagine in our childhoods, they were available only August, September.
And that was the right time to have it.
Have a thing. But today, means very few people must be knowing, like apples we use odd seasons. They are picked at least 4 to 6 months before, because they come in containers, they are frozen below, whatever, and then they come and then we eat, so.
There is no nutrition in apples.
No, and other than that, they are sprayed with so much to keep them fresh. Yeah,
Yes.
so that's really not very good. But for us, if you have to eat local, and if you have to eat, I mean, the minute preservation comes, then there is a lot of chemical, and there is a lot of use,
fertilizers,
fertilizers and all, to keep it fresh and to make it look interesting for months or days. But if you have to eat local, which means you have to really eat aaj ka mal kal, that kind of a thing.
Right.
But Pune, we are a little bit fortunate, because we are surrounded by farms. So we actually get Bombay, it is a little difficult, but Pune, at least we are surrounded by farms. So we get.
Sometimes, Shank sir, you will be surprised. I mean, I stay in Thane otherwise. So Thane markets, Meena ma'am, you will know. Ami kalas bolot hoto Meena Pujari ma'am आहे तिथे ठाण्याच्या. So there is such a wonderful variety of vegetables that you get in Thane also. In fact, the local ones, म्हणजे श्रावण महिन्यामध्ये करटुला मिळतात. That is that small variety of कारला which we rarely get in Pune. Or even in this time of the year you get jam. ते फळं असतात जाम, ते किती rarely पुण्यामध्ये मिळतात, and you are supposed to eat them, and they are actually grown in between Bombay and Pune. So actually we should equally get more the jam as much as we get it in Bombay.
That's, by the way, Lonavala is the place where most of the jam trees are.
Yes, that the weather is perfect. So if you have memories of traveling in the train, तर ते खंडाळा आणि लोणावळ्याच्या घाटाच्या मध्ये त्या कातरणी आतमध्ये शिरायच्या, आणि they would sell ते जाम विकायच्या. Jam, Karvanda, Jamla.
Yeah.
So all of this, is so important to include. Now, the moment ह्याची demand वाढेल, only then मग आपल्याला त्यांना सुद्धा ते मार्केट मिळणार. We have to start asking for it. म्हणजे इथे ब्लूबेरीज आपल्याला स्टार मार्केट मध्ये मिळतात, पण आपल्याला करवंद मिळत नाहीत. You don't get जांभळं. So it is as that when we start using them more, the market will actually take that information and that will come to us.
Swati, actually, it depends on you. All nutritionists need to popularize this. It's all in marketing. I'm telling you.
Right.
You market it in such a way that everybody will start eating jambala and karvanda. Today, everybody wants blueberries.
Yeah, and you have also been promoting chia seeds a big way, but we do have substitute seeds here, right? So I think you should change that.
That is, I take it on my fraternity. Yeah. Definitely, it is important that we start promoting local. Only then we can give rise to the market also. I mean, just Shashank sir, he rightly pointed out that it's very important that we stop this wastage also. 40% is the number that he is giving me. Is imagine that 40% is adding to the greenhouse gases emission also. Everything is going there.
And this is just India. Abroad, it is 60-70%.
It's massive.
So it's like, globally we are like adding, tons to the carbon footprint.
Basically, people, आता मी तुला सांगतो, मी कधी स्टार बाजार, बिग बाजार, all these bazaars, big basket, I never ever buy anything there. मी मंडईमध्ये
डेक्कनच्या मंडईमध्ये
जातो, हातामध्ये आपली पिशवी घेऊन जातो. त्याच्यामुळे 2 लेअर 3 लेअर मला माहिती नाही, अंगावर फक्त 1 लेअर घालायचं आणि तिकडे जायचं. मला तू सांग की तुला भाजी मंडईमध्ये जेवढी फ्रेश भाजी मिळते तेवढी तुम्हाला कुठे, आता कसं झालंय, आळस नावाचा प्रकार एक खूप आपल्या अंगामध्ये छान देवाने भरून दिलेला
कोविडने त्याच्यामध्ये खतपाणी
करायचा प्रयत्न करतो. दॅट इज द प्रॉब्लेम. Otherwise, I can go and talk to an entire one-day session on sustainability. पण मी सांगू का, this is all talk. Actually, people don't walk the talk. This is the problem. This is any country, any city, any locality where there is a problem of plenty, all these things happen. तुम्हाला खिशामध्ये तुमचे पैसे छान छान करायला लागले की हे तुम्हाला सगळी दुर्बुद्धी सुचते. मग तुम्ही switch like going from bottom to normal wear to tights, you are again back to comfortable wear. So then you have to reinvent the wheel.
Correct.
The moment you go into these bazaars, everything is packed, and then we talk about sustainability. Nothing.
Absolutely. It has to, and it is each person's responsibility to get started with small changes. It's not like you don't have to take giant leaps. One baby step at a time is also good enough. म्हणजे उद्या भाजी आणायला जाताना न विसरता पिशवी घेऊन जा, दॅट इज ऑल्सो मोर देन इनफ. मला तर ह्याची आयडिया आवडली, ते अंडी कॅरी करायची. आय एम गोइंग टू डेफिनेटली, आय एम थिंकिंग ऑफ डुईंग द सेम विथ वेन आय एम गोइंग टू बाय रेड मीट ऑल्सो. सो आय हेट किंवा मासे, तर काळ्या पिशव्यांचा मला खूप त्रास होतो. एनिवे,
सो अंड्याचा एकदा तुम्ही बॉक्स आणला, आय हॅव गॉट दोज बॉक्सेस, कधीतरी एकदा आणला असेल. आय ऑलवेज कॅरी दॅट बॉक्स. प्लास्टिकचा ट्रे पण नाही, तो पेपर मॅशचा जो ट्रे असतो ना, कार्टन, ते राहतं. एकदा तुम्ही समजा कधीतरी आणले असेल तर दॅट विल लास्ट अगेन.
राईट.
काय ते कुठं काय ओलं होत नाही, काय होत
काही होत नाही. करेक्ट.
बाय द वे, ती जी अंड्यांची कार्टन असतात त्याच्यात अतिशय चांगलं बियांचं जर्मिनेशन, त्याच्यात नवीन झाड त्याच्यात लावायची, ते मस्त जर्मिनेट
होल्ड अ लॉट ऑफ मॉइश्चर ऑल्सो. आय थिंक शशांक सर, एक सेशन आपण तुमचा करूया. आय वॉज कंटिन्युअसली थिंकिंग अबाउट यू व्हेन वी वर मेकिंग दिस session, we were designing this session. So the next part, the plant-based nutrition ahe. So in that part we are going to talk about how exactly we can change, now this is in light with the diabetes management and incorporation of a plant-based diet, a dietary change, a set of dietary changes that we can bring about. Suvarna, are you ready?
Sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, great.
Yeah, good
Over
evening.
to you.
So So Swati ma'am has given us a very good introduction, and we have already discussed about the sustainable living. But now we'll shift to the plant-based eating. Now we have two different sections under what we call it as concept called veganism. Okay, so we have one term called vegan and one term called plant-based eating. So I just want to tell you the basic difference between these two so that it is much more clear to us how to incorporate things from two different concepts. So one is vegan is a concept which is a lifestyle where we completely avoid animal products, we completely avoid dairy products and related ingredients. Okay, there we completely avoid even the clothing or the cosmetics that involve any sort of cruelty. But in case of plant-based diet, it is more over related to eating pattern. Okay, so there you might or you may or may not get involved in the cruelty part or ethical part, but you focus only main on plant-based eating, which is more over health related. Okay, so just to quickly go ahead with it, it is basically a diet which involves the foundation is plant. Okay, so plants and vegetables, fruits are the these are the foundations, which where we include fruits, vegetables, nuts, legumes, grains, and other substitutes. Okay, and what we avoid is meat, fish, eggs, so all basically non-vegetarian products and the dairy products. So can you just go to the next slide? That will make this point more clear. Yeah. So I just want to know from you whether you have gone through the normal food pyramid. Anyone? You know how the normal food pyramid looks, or what basically the food pyramid is?
Yes, sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So in that, the foundation level, the bottom is your carbohydrates. Okay, the next is your proteins, the next is your vitamins and minerals, and then oil. But in case of plant-based food pyramid, the foundation is your vegetables and your carbohydrates. So basically, we are combining two different things. So one food group from carbohydrates and one from vegetables, so that the carbohydrates and the micronutrient part is mixed. Okay, so that becomes your foundation level. The next comes is your again vegetables or fruits and your protein source. Now, in case of plant-based diet, we believe that even plants give good quality protein. Okay, so you did not go for animal proteins all the time, but you can replace some of your meals with plant-based proteins, which is equally good. Okay, so the next time comes is again a part is your vegetables and fruits for your fiber intake, because as we say or as we can always we have experienced also, animal foods are basically used for protein intake. Okay, they are never used for fiber, they are never used for micronutrients. So the basic thing that we include non-vegetarian food is for proteins. But here the third aspect what we are clearing is your proteins should come from your plant-based and also from your nuts and seeds. Okay, the next comes is your fat serving. So fat serving is basically, we believe that apart from your normal refined oils, the majority of your fat percentage should come from your natural sources like nuts and seeds. Okay, because these contain good amount of omega-3 and omega-6, which are essential fatty acids. The topmost layer is of your calcium and minerals. Now, since we are on plant-based diet, we do require supplements for vitamin B12 and D. Okay, because these are the things that might we fall short on. So supplementing your vitamin B12 and D is the ideal way of incorporating these nutrients in when you are on plant-based diet. But that frankly, I feel that even if you're a non-vegetarian, you might be low on B12. Anybody has experienced this, that you're a non-vegetarian but still B12 levels are down? I'm sorry, you're on mute.
Yeah, myself. Yeah, I was one point of time I was on medication. Now they have stopped it, yeah. And I am non-vegetarian.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is the case is whether you're vegetarian or whether you're non-vegetarian, you might be deficient in B12. So basically, if you feel that the levels are going down, the best way is to supplement it. Okay. And the calcium and other minerals. Now, the benefit of plant-based diet is that, can you just go to the next slide, Sejal? Okay. So the benefits of plant-based diet. So now we all know that the foundation is vegetables and fruits and good source of carbohydrates and proteins. Can you just let me know what do you think? What might help you in, what will be the benefits of it? The best, what I would say is advantage of plant-based diet is it is very high in fiber. Okay, you take any of the recipe from plant-based meals and it will be high in fiber because the base is your vegetables and fruit, and it is not only the fiber but it is the good source of soluble fiber, which is very very essential in which actually helps in bringing down your blood sugar levels. Okay, so one benefit is that it helps in reducing your weight. Second is it is also very much helpful in managing health conditions like PCOS, PCOD, because these are moreover related to your weight and also to your hormonal imbalances rather. The next is that as it is high in, as I said, soluble and insoluble fiber, it is very, very effective in diabetes. So, I mean, there are a few cases where almost the people who were on insulin were back to their medicines, and those who were on medicines, wo apke normal life without medicines chal rahe. So diabetes can be reversed on plant-based diet, and these are the proven facts. So it is always recommended for diabetics, especially type 2, that at least maybe 40 to 50%, even if not 100%, at least 50% diet should be plant-based to see the results. Okay.
But
Now,
Suvarna, one
yeah.
moment. But anyways, 50% of our diet or even more is plant-based, right?
Yes.
Very little is a non-veg, and in fact, like in my case, I started eating more of non-veg to control my diabetes, and it is working reverse actually, kind of.
No, what happens is, see, there are different theories. Now there is one theory called keto diet for reversing diabetes. Okay, so there is very low carbohydrate diet for controlling diabetes. So there are different theories which actually work in their own ways. The only problem is that with these, like for example in keto, where we have more of fat, okay, to control diabetes, in that case we completely or majority of the time we miss on our micronutrients, which are actually required for your energy production. Okay, so the vitamins and minerals are there for more, they work for more than 200 functions in our body. So if you're missing on that, maybe a part of time, maybe for 6 months or so, you might be able to follow that pattern, or maybe you'll see the results also. But for the longer run, it is not advisable. So the base is, if you are having more of colorful plants and vegetables, or maybe plants and fruits in your diet, those are going to give you more of fiber, more of antioxidants, more of micronutrients. So overall, I'm not saying that you completely avoid non-vegetarian foods, but yeah, you can always mix and match. So one more thing that Swati ma'am and I, we were discussing, that it is a good idea to maybe start taking this challenge, like go just follow plant-based diet for 1 day in a week and you can see the change. Okay, so plant-based diet following is what basically you gradually decrease the dairy products, even if you cannot completely avoid your non-vegetarian products. So at least 1 day you can try and do this and you'll see the difference. Okay, so as you can see here, that other benefits apart from maintaining your diabetes or maintaining your PCOS or weight, the most important thing is it creates an alkaline medium in your body. So the theory says that whatever we have, okay, any food we have, when it enters our body and when it gets metabolized, the final product is either acidic or ash or alkaline ash. Okay, so now it depends. If you're having more of foods that is creating acidic ash in your body, जैसे आप वो मतलब लॉन्गर रन में आपको वो किसी न किसी तरीके से अफेक्ट करने वाला है. But if you're having more of foods which are creating alkaline medium in your body, that is going to actually help you in what would I say, not delaying, also preventing diseases. Now, for example, in cancer, disease like cancer, it is said that the cancer cells cannot survive in acidic medium. Okay, so if your body, in alkaline medium. So if your body is moreover alkaline in nature, even cells of cancer cannot survive. So you have to just keep a check that whatever foods you are having, are they creating acidic medium or alkaline medium in your body? And accordingly, you can mix and match. Okay. So as you say, yeah, the second is it creates it gives a energy boost. So जितने भी लोग अगर भी अटेंड करें, उनको अगर लग रहा है कि थोड़ा सा कम एनर्जी लेवल्स है, हेयर लॉस है, या तो फिर थोड़ा सा स्किन में कुछ तो अलग दिख रहा है. So these are all related to micronutrient deficiencies. Okay. So if you increase your greens in your diet, if you increase this base of like fruits and vegetables, it is going to definitely help you to मतलब वो जो पूरा जो deficiencies है वो complete करने के लिए it will really help you. Okay. Yeah, the third important is brain fog. Has anybody experienced this कि कभी कभी बहुत ज्यादा डिप्रेसिव मूड होता है, या कुछ समझ में नहीं आता है, क्लैरिटी नहीं होता है, ऐसे कभी होता है, मतलब जनरली फ्रीक्वेंटली आई वुड से. So yeah, so brain fog is it's kind of a sluggish feeling you feel maybe after having food or maybe between two meals, that where you feel that you do not have that clarity. You feel very inactive, you feel very lethargic rather, and it is moreover after having sugary foods. Okay, so if you have that brain fog, plant-based diet is the best solution. You can try it. Okay, so people who are majority of the time depressed, okay, they can always try and increase their plant intake, or rather vegetables intake in their diet, and they'll see the difference. So we have this power of green, which can actually change the entire environment within the body. So if your body is acidic in nature, it will turn into alkaline. Okay, for example, now if we say that we take orange, so when we see orange, it is moreover acidic in nature, right? But when it enters your body, it becomes alkaline. So that is the reason we say more have more of citrus fruits also. So even they like lemon. So if lemon looks like acidic in nature, when it enters your body, it becomes alkaline. So our final goal should be to keep your body in alkaline nature. Okay. Now the next is power of greens. Now we can see that so many greens vegetables are available in our within our premises. So all these vegetables mentioned here and other also you can always incorporate. And all these vegetables have one or two things in common. Okay, one is they are excellent in antioxidants. Like in last lecture, we also saw we have also seen that like vitamin A, D, E, K. Right, these are excellent source of these vitamins, and these are antioxidants which help to build immunity, plus they help to delay your disease levels, or maybe they prevent also. Okay, but this power, how do we use this power on diabetes management? Okay, so first is these vegetables will detoxify your body. Okay, so as you see that we are exposed to so many pollutants and so many toxins. So first is your air pollution, second is, as Swatima mentioned, from your food also, third is your cosmetics, and fourth is the toxins which are actually produced within your body when the metabolic processes are going on. Okay, so these toxins build up day by day, and then they create some health conditions. So in some people it might be diabetes, in some people it might be hypertension, in some people might be cholesterol. Okay, so to reduce this toxins level, we need to detoxify our body on a regular basis. Now our body has a natural mechanism of detoxifying itself, but then we need to give a push at times. Okay, so this is the green vegetables and the water-based fruits are the best ways you can detoxify your body. Okay, second is these are very, very low in calories. Okay, so the calorie wise, so even if you are having maybe a piece of chicken, I would say, and maybe a bowl of vegetables, if you compare that, So the vegetables, you can have it in more and more quantity because they are very low in calories. They are very good in fiber, so they are also very good for fat loss. Okay. Now, majority of the greens are low in GI. Okay, so GI is between like low to medium. So even if you have it in more quantity, it will not affect in any which like negative effects. Okay. Now it is the main reason why we tell to have these vegetables in diabetes is because they are excellent source of chromium, zinc, and magnesium. So these are the trace minerals which actually help to increase insulin sensitivity. So these vegetables, if you have it, especially in type 2 diabetes, it works really good. Okay. So at least, okay. So at least maybe 2 to 3 servings of green vegetables in any which ways form, like either in smoothies or in natural your raitas or your vegetables, any form you can have it, but try and include more and more of greens in your diet. Okay. And the next is, so this is just a glimpse of colorful and green plant-based nutrition. Can we have the next slide? Yeah. So it is just that how can you, the easy ways to include this. So just make the preparation and keep your fridge one major slot available for your greens and your other colorful vegetables. Along with that, we need good source of protein also. So if you're not going for non-vegetarian protein, the mock meat that we say, that is the vegan or the plant-based protein, is also the best choice. So either it is made from soya or it is made from jackfruit, but it tastes exactly like meat. Okay, and these all are available in the market. Even the dairy, like the cow milk or buffalo milk alternatives are available. Like you can choose from almond, soya, rice, any milk, or you can prepare it at home also. That is much easier. Okay. And as we already said, that if you want to go for fruits, then choose local and seasonal, and keep a stock so that you don't have to keep on thinking that what to make and what not to make, because that is one excuse that we keep giving ourselves, that this particular item is not available, so I cannot make it. So if we are ready with all the things in hand, it is much easier to implement. Okay. And the next is, so this is all about how plant-based diet can help you in managing diabetes, and how this can be included in your normal routine diet. And as Priya ma'am rightly said, that our majority of the diet, whether it is Maharashtrian or whether it is other any diet, is basically plant-based. So what exactly we need to take care of is those.
Swati, you can include, particularly, you started with water. आणि मी पण अजून घरी करायचंय, माझा तो प्लॅन आहे आता जे झाल्या घरी, की ऑल ओव्हर टॅप्स यू कॅन नाव यू गेट दोज फिटिंग्स वेअर नळ उघडल्यावर स्प्रे सारखं पाणी येतं आणि
एवढं छोटं
मिस्ट, हा, आणि यू सेव्ह ऑलमोस्ट 40 to 50% वॉटर. हा, करेक्ट. पण आता पूर्वी ते खूप महाग असायचे, आता
खूपच स्वस्त झालेत आता. It's like 250 rupees, 300 rupees you can get it for a fitting. Even if you start with that in the kitchen taps which the maids use when they are washing, you can cut down on so much of water.
Correct.
Swati, on the same
Best
line,
is other thing is to throttle it from underneath. So there is a stopcock below the wash basin.
You can reduce the pressure.
This is a typical way of doing it. The tap water, त्याची जी धार असते, it should just about fall little outside the drain of that wash basin. That is the right way of setting a tap of any wash basin.
Yeah.
Ruby ma'am, you had a question for Suvarna?
I was saying, that long back there was article going on jackfruit, for diabetes, jackfruit powder and all that. So I wanted to know about from you people how far jackfruit is helpful for us, and is it correct that we should consume not as a fruit but as a vegetable?
Yes, jackfruit, because as it's again a seasonal thing, so it is always recommended that you should have. And even if you want to have the fruit also now, you can. It's just the portion size that matters. So even at least 2 to 3 jackfruit things you can have. Because
Yeah, but as a raw as a vegetable, I want to know, is it good for diabetic people?
Yes, you can. So what we make the curry of it, right?
Yeah. We
But
make,
only
yeah, we
thing
are
is
North
raw
Indians,
jackfruit.
we eat more of raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, we eat more of raw jackfruit.
And it
So I
actually
was,
tastes like chicken. I mean, because
yeah.
yes, the curry.
I do make pickle also out of it, you know.
So
So
Swati, I had asked you this information long back.
I remember
Common
that about the
powder.
jackfruit flour.
No, the powder.
Powder, flour. It's
Flour,
called,
flour,
it is
yeah.
called jackfruit flour. So it is a good idea to start mixing it. So it basically,
Yeah.
you know, helps in pulling down the GI of the product. So probably, you know, if you are taking about 4 spoons of wheat flour, you can add about 1 teaspoon of jackfruit flour to it.
Okay.
So it helps in, because otherwise if you use it in higher quantities, it might change the texture of the product. So especially, you know,
And the
we
taste.
want the rotis to be slightly soft, but definitely so if I'm talking about 100 grams, if you are taking flour, you can definitely add 5 to 10 grams of jackfruit flour to it. About 10% addition can be done.
So any recommendation, which one? Last time I had given you, I mean, I'm forgetting that name.
You get Urban Platter also
Yeah,
has
Urban Platter,
jackfruit
but
flour.
this one company from Kerala, I'll message you.
He's that
The
person.
same guy who got the award also
Yeah,
for
yeah.
innovation.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Okay.
So I think he's the only one in the business at the moment in jackfruit flour.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so he's doing really well in that.
Cool. I will order.
Great. It was a wonderful session.
Yes. Thank you
As
everyone
usual,
for coming.
you always
As
enjoy
usual.
talking with everyone.
Yes, same here. Another thing, we should all say no to plastic if we are talking sustainability. No to plastic and reduce plastic waste.
Definitely.
Not, we should focus on having more greens and not wearing greens, as quoted by Priya ma'am. And we should definitely
And shine.
try,
Have green and shine.
Yes.
for sustainable development for our future generations. So thank you once again for all of you to join. Have a great
Thank
weekend.
you for all the first
Thank
timers. We
you.
have
Thank
a
you,
lot of first
Suvarna
timers
and
today.
Swati.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
I
you so
hope this
much.
was helpful and some new information we could deliver.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely.
It was helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you to all
By
the
the
new
way,
joinees as well. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
Ashwin is my brother, my cousin.
Yes.
Thanks, Priya. Hi
Yeah.
everyone.
Thank you,
Hi,
Suvarna.
Ashwin.
Thanks, Swati. Thank you, everyone.